This episode is going to expand on the concept of memory management. We're going to introduce reference variables which allow us to make changes or modifications to original variables without having to deal with the complexity of pointers. So without wasting any time, let's start code. Alright, so when we talk about reference variables, we're essentially just expanding on the concept of memory management, right? So if you haven't watched our previous video on memory management, I'd suggest you do that so that you can have an idea of what we are talking about, right? So let's just go ahead and create a normal variable x, and we'll discuss what a reference variable does, right? So we know that this value x is going to be stored on the stack memory. We should know this by now, that it's going to be stored on the stack memory because it's just a simple functional call, right? And then after this function is done, it's essentially just going to disappear, right? So it's the same thing with reference variables. Reference variables, we do not create a whole new memory. We essentially just point exactly where, in this case, where this function is pointing on the stack memory, right? So essentially, how we create reference variables, we can go ahead and say int, right? This is the syntax, right? We just put that end sign there, and then just going to say a name. Any name can be any name, right? Remember we said that it's just a different name for the same variable, right? So let's just go ahead and say that x, right? So this reference variable is essentially pointing exactly where x is pointing, right? So the value of this reference variable is going to be 10, just like the value of x, right? Let's just go ahead and console log that. Right, so one of the benefits of reference variables is that they do not require any special notation whenever you print in them, right? So let's just go ahead and console log that. Right, as we can see that they have the same value, 10 and 10. So let's just go ahead and show that indeed these two variables are pointing at the same address. Like, let's just go ahead and show that. How we do that is you can just put the end, this symbol right here in front of the two variables, right? That is how we see the address, right, of a normal variable. Let's just go ahead and console log that. Right, we can see that the address of the two variables is essentially the same, right? They are pointing to the same location, right? So that's essentially how reference variables work, right? So I'm sure you're asking yourself, why would we want to create another name for a function, right? What are the benefits of doing that, right? Let's just go ahead and see what are the benefits of creating a reference variable, right? So we say that we talked about the concept of updating a variable, right? We said that whenever we create a variable, let's just create a function called increment. It's just going to take in the input x. Right, so I just created a function called increment and takes in an input x, right, and then just increases it by 1 and prints it to the console, right? So essentially, what we talked about in our previous video is that whenever we pass in a normal variable, what happens is that we don't actually make changes to the original variable. What we do essentially, we just make a copy of that value and then increase it, right? So essentially in this case, we'll just increase it. The value of it will be 11. But if we went ahead and printed the value of x, right? So I'm just going to have the function call here. Right, so we saw how in our previous video, right, that after this call, nothing really changes, right? As much as this is going to print 11, this is essentially just going to print 10 because we haven't actually done anything to the original value of x, right? So let's just go ahead and compile it and show what happens, right? Right, so we can see that the value is 10 and the value is the value is 11 and the value is 10, right? So essentially what are we saying? This is going to be the 11 value and then this is going to be the 10 value, right? And nothing has really changed. Even though we have incremented it in this function, nothing has really changed, right? So that's essentially how normal functions work, right? So with reference variables, they're similar to pointer variables, but they're just a bit that are less complex, right? So what we can do is go ahead and pass in a reference variable, right? So what we're going to do is pass in a reference variable, right? So the change that's going to be made here is actually going to be it's actually going to affect the value here, right? Let's just go ahead and see how that works. right? So we can see that the value now is 11 and the value is 11, right? So essentially, right, they just work as similar to pointers. We can actually make the same, rather, changes to the original variable, right? It's just that the difference with references and pointers is that references also live on the stack memory, right? Meaning after the function call, they essentially disappear, right? So yeah, they essentially disappear compared to pointer variables, which sometimes can live longer because of the heap memory, right? Which are essentially concept that we covered in the previous video, right? So that's essentially how reference variables work, right? And I know someone may say, why don't we just increase the value of x, right? Return it, and then we can have the updated value, right? And that essentially would work. Let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to increase the value of x, return it, right? What I'm going to do is store the return variable under x, right? So what we're going to do is say whatever value is returned. So remember what this is going to do. It's going to take in a parameter x, right, and then increase it and return x, right? And essentially the value that is returned, we update in the value of x, right? You see how that works. So in this case, we indeed going to get the value 11, right? Let's just go ahead and print that. Right, so we did indeed get the value 11, right? And then we did in this case we kind of did make changes to the original variable, right? So this works, but the problem with that is that what happens when we want to modify two parameters, right? Or more than two, right? Let's just go ahead and say, right? And then let's just go ahead and pass in, let's just go ahead and create a variable y. I'm just going to pass in the value of y and x, right? So the problem with this is that we can no longer use that same method whereby we return the value, right, and then just update the value. Why? Because we can only return one variable, right? We can see in this case we can only return one variable. So as much as yes, we can update this and then try and return it, and then after that update the variable within this scope of this variable, rather of this function, right? In this case, we cannot do that because simply we cannot return two variables, right? And that is where reference variables are very beneficial, right? So if we went ahead and said, let us go ahead and modify this, right? So we can see how when we pass in the value x and the value y, right? So if we're referencing them, right, if we're passing them as reference variables, what we can go ahead and do, because we don't want to essentially return anything in this case, we're going to change the value, that value to void, rather the return type to void. We're going to increase the value of y, and in this case, what we're not doing is essentially returning anything, right? So let's just go ahead and console log the two values, right? So this concept of reference variables essentially allows us to modify two variables, x and y, right, without actually using that return keyword, right, which essentially only returns one value or one variable in this case, which is could be x, could be y. But in the case whereby we wanted to modify more than two variables and essentially have those modification be visible in our code, right, in this case in our main function, right, we would use what we call reference variables, right? So that's essentially how reference variables work. Let's go ahead and compile this. Right, we can see that indeed would not return anything, but when we printed x and y, right, after, very important, after this call, remember this call is going to happen first, right? Stack memory, how stack memory works, right? After this call, the value had already been increased by 1 and the value had already been increased by 1. So that's why we get the output of 11 and 21, right? That's essentially how reference variables work, right? We've come to the end of this episode. If you really enjoyed this episode, you can go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you don't want to miss any releases. Otherwise, cheers.